Yes, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back again. We're back. We're back again. I think it's the first time I will have somebody that look like me in the studio. He rock earrings like me, and he had braids on like me. I'm not sure this is your natural hair. You have attachment. You have attachment on it. Are you sure, Elvis?
This is my natural.
Oh, that's very good. So you're welcome to my show, the Digital Asset Show, Internet Money Podcast. This is the second half. I just had two wonderful, brilliant ladies, and you have to match up so people watching at home don't.
I know.
I'm gonna just relax. So, Elvis is a Web3 marketer. I don't like the word Web3. I can be more maxi there because the ladies have left. So let me be warm. But yeah, a brilliant marketer, fantastic person, very interesting guy. Was doing some nice stuff. Rising star of the entire blockchain space in Nigeria. Is here on the Digital Asset Show today. Elvis, what's up, my brother?
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, Shagun. And I have to say,
Oluwa in front of it.
Oluwa Shagun. Yeah, Oluwa the victor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so absolutely. I have to say, first things first, I think Bitcoin is a cornerstone, and then Bitcoin is a cornerstone to Web3. Think of Web3 as a foundation, and Bitcoin is a cornerstone. But we'll get to that later. So,
Good.
So yeah, my name is Elvis. As you might know, I'm a marketeer. I love calling myself a marketeer instead of a marketer. Yeah, I'm a marketer, and I'm also a creator. So primarily, I've been doing, marketing is my bread and butter. I've been doing that for around 8 years now. But since around 2021, I've been really exclusive on blockchain space and on the Web3 space. And I've done quite a lot of marketing campaigns, and that's included everything from trying to increase the trading volume of projects, selling out NFT collections, building out communities, increasing trading volumes, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
And aside from that, of course, I've launched quite a few side projects of mine. I have the Money Panda, where I bring together people from all over the world to talk about blockchain-related topics. Mm-hmm. I curate Web3 jobs from all over the world. Mm-hmm. And I'm also building out CryptoCoins VIP, which is a Web3 media platform, and also which has DEX features. And aside from that, I'm quite a prolific creator as well. I create quite actively on YouTube, on LinkedIn, as you might have seen. So I guess I'm very immersed all of my head
in the space.
In
the space.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I love that. What a wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
You host the show, so I see you talk a lot. Like me too.
Yeah.
So good one. How did you get into the space? That's my first question. Then connect that with your first ever experience with Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin wasn't your first exposure to the space, then tell me, did you ever shitcoin? Before you actually discover Bitcoin? So, but I want to know your background, don't tell me I went to Zozo Primary School, please.
No.
I just want to know what your experience has been, especially with fiat and discovering the entire blockchain space and Bitcoin for you. Just show me a story.
Okay.
Quick.
Okay, so you know where we're at. You know as they go now. So yeah. So the way I actually got into the first time I actually heard about the space was via a scam, 100%. Like not even capping. So
was it the MMM era or
no? It was a bit after that. Like there was the ICO era from like 2017.
So you
onwards.
bought the pseudo coin?
No. It was actually a friend who bought this, and then they told me, okay, it was for cryptocurrency. I was like, what's a cryptocurrency? And they explained the stuff to me, and I was like, that makes no sense. And then like you got scammed off of this, and then it turned out that entire time, okay, I think that was around the time Ethereum launched, and so many other projects were doing ICO type scams. And I was like, I'm never going to touch this stuff. But then fast forward to around 2020 during the pandemic, that was around the time some
inflation everywhere. The US dollar had 9%.
Yes.
Naira had 28%.
Yes, that was around the time that the evangelists got to me and I bought Bitcoin. That was my first entry.
Boom.
Bitcoin.
The evangelists got me.
Yeah, they got me.
They came to me and I bought Bitcoin.
Exactly.
I'll take that as a quote.
Exactly. So that tells you that, of course, you never know who you're evangelizing to and who you're
Facts.
bringing into the space
See, let
because,
me tell you something.
yeah.
The first person that advised me and pitched BTC to me did a very terrible job.
Oof.
Yeah, it was in 2013. So they did a terrible job. And I bought BTC. I sold it. In 2016, I was in America. And it was very tough for me. And that's how I discovered Bitcoin again. Like, I'm like,
Hardship.
how did I lose what I bought in 2013? Like, I just bought it back. So it was the MMM era. So as people, they lose money for MMM, I just quickly, I just traded because I felt like I made profit. And so, this is me trying to tell you my own story too. It's crazy. And, I was being barred by Western Union, MoneyGram, trying to send money back home. I started looking for alternative means. That's how I found Bitcoin. But story for another day. Today's
Wow. Nice. And I mean, that was more or less the same story I discovered. Okay, because around that time I was freelancing quite actively. I already had a digital marketing career. So I discovered I could get payments far more easily from my international clients via cryptocurrencies. I discovered I could trade. I discovered I could sidestep the Nigerian government, which was moving crazy. And side note, in 2020 also, I don't know, for people who remember, there was the NSARS movement. And also, as you might remember, Bitcoin was, let's just say Bitcoin played a role, right, in helping to foster a movement that was intrinsically like anti-establishment, because it turned from a thing against like the SARS police
brutalizing.
So it turned from that
wrongfully.
into like basically a whole all-out protest like against the establishment, and Bitcoin played a real big role in helping that to go forward. And you see that and I saw that happening in so many other countries around the world, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy, because I've always, like, inside of me, I've always been rebellious a little bit. I've always been a bit anti-establishment. I was like, oh my god, this technology is going to like power this type of, can I curse? Can I? I've been holding I've been holding words. Anyway, I was like, so Bitcoin.
Go on, go ahead.
So I was like, Bitcoin is going to power this shit, and I was like, okay, I need to be a part of this shit. So I started to, of course, network with friends already in it, and lo and behold, by 2021, I started working on a project, and I've never really looked back since. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Let me tell you something about that 2022. It was a terrible time in our lives, especially as young people. Like, I'm a millennial, right? But I've seen police brutality. I'm a victim of that circumstance myself.
I can imagine. Like,
You just get one time for this Lagos when they beat you if you get dressed, man. It was crazy, like castle.
I know the
beat you.
vibes,
If you're
man.
too funky, they're gonna stop you. There was a time laptop was almost contraband.
100%.
So that the NSAS force was needed. And he activated some type of world attention to how the power of unity can really cause change. And centralized financial institutions were banned. They were cut off transaction capacity abilities because the government, they want people to be able to donate for such peaceful protests that speaks against
Exactly.
frivolous spendings and the things that just do to hurt Nigerians.
Yeah.
But I remember as far in the West, Jack Dorsey, the owner of Twitter at the time, now X, tweeted Bitcoin logo and Nigerian flag. And that was a defining moment. So at BotMeCash, our exchange, which is launched in 2020, you know what happened? There was an inflow of sudden BTC buyers. They didn't want to buy Bitcoin because they wanted to hodl at the time for asset purposes or for transaction purposes. They wanted to buy Bitcoin because they want to support the cause, positive cause. And I'm talking about millennials, Gen Zers, and even
Everyone, boomers.
Some boomers too, because they were like, you are stopping these people. They had gone to different platforms, float away, pay stack, they couldn't do transactions. So people were coming in and saying, can we buy Bitcoin? Even children of some of the top government functionaries who are naturally not for such hurt because they are friends.
Yeah.
When they go back to their friends, they're like, your papa, your mama, they chop this country money. If you talk to them, so they kind of contributed. And in a positive way, I saw firsthand how Bitcoin played a role because we were able to, send money to some people, even right there. Okay, so look, this is Bitcoin that came in for you guys. It's $300. You guys should convert it right there. If you can't convert, we'll convert to cash for you. And it went on and on before they came to spray all of us. So I resonate with you. Let's go deeper a little bit. There is the virtual asset service provider license. It's 30 million naira, right? I keep mentioning this because it concerns me. We're already thinking of pivoting to an infrastructure company, Bitcoin development company, or we're already a Bitcoin development company, but we're in the exchange business. But it's 30 million naira. I'm thinking that's about close to half a Bitcoin. Why should I go and give the government 30 million naira right now so I can be able to move Bitcoin up and down when I can custody my Bitcoin? Anyway, when you heard about this, what did it do to you? There's a P2P market. This entire whole market was formulated by the individuals before the ETF came, and the license guidelines are out. The licenses have not been issued. ETFs scalping Bitcoin all over the world. The so-called exchanges that would be allowed to sell proper have not been established, but we know the ones that are here. Do you ever worry that we're going to get colonized in this sector again, such that it's either the foreign company is going to come and then wet hands with our policymakers, regulators, and they will be able to pay that money just less than $25,000 for them, and they'll get into the business like for example Binance and the rest of them. Shout out to what they're doing, but do you worry that P2P can become a serious problem? And do you think that some of these guidelines can affect P2P transactions? Do you worry at all that there would be a segregation from the true players who made the ecosystem this much, the industry this much, and then people who are just money bags, the financial institutions would just come in, or anybody would just come in and just take over the business?
I think it's a nuanced conversation. On one side, I think the policy itself, having it be that expensive, I think it's regressive. I think it's not progressive at all. I think it's regressive because I think it stifles, of course, local innovation, local participation. Because when the bar to entry is so high, what you get, like you just said, is the likes of the international giants. They come in and they dominate the space, and that's exactly what's happening now. And of course, like you said, they're greasing palms of of who they're supposed to, and basically they know how to do this. I mean, the international players, because they've done this in maybe tens, maybe up to hundreds of countries before, so they understand that this is how it works. That's on one side. But then on the other side, I also think of it on a micro level, right? Yes, we want local companies to grow, but then I also feel, I don't know whether it should always come at the trade-off of trying to provide regular everyday people with the opportunity to, buy and sell Bitcoin, whether it's in the hands of foreign, centralized exchange or not. And even aside from that, I've always been a whole advocate of, your keys, your coins,
Facts.
So
not your keys, not your coins.
So at the end of the day, yeah.
Gunshot for you. Ta, 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 ta.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's more like the more we can encourage, P2P participation, the better it is. I mean, participation that's exempt from the influence of centralized exchanges. Because when push comes to shove, if, for example, they don't like what you're doing with your Bitcoin, they can always shut it down, or they can always shut down your wallets. They can always seize your Bitcoin. They can seize your assets.
And run a node. Okay. So because time flies, what makes you? What can make you succeed in this space? A lot of people are hearing blockchain. For the layman at all, if you want to get into this space, for example, you want to buy crypto, you want to buy Bitcoin, right? What should you do, and what makes you succeed? Now, generalize it whether you are a buyer or a seller, you're a developer, ecosystem builder, or you're an educator.
Okay, so I have two ways, or two broad ways I think you can get in. Usually, let me put it like this. Let me use this analogy. If you're in a gold rush, it's either you're out here digging for gold, or you're giving people shovels. What I mean is either you're enabling other people to dig for gold, or maybe you're basically either you're doing the digging yourself, or basically you're handing out shovels. So how can you dig for gold? A few ways. You can get active in trading. You can get active in trying to source for airdrops. And there are people who even give actual Bitcoin. I mean, as part of airdrops, part of giveaways. There are people who give other
Just to
cryptocurrencies.
onboard you and
Yes,
get you
yes.
educated and
Yeah,
enlightened.
exactly. There are lots of projects who do airdrops, who do different giveaways, or you can just decide to trade yourself. And this is not financial advice. You can go ahead
your
and find as
research.
much. Yeah, do your research and try to find the best entry you can into the market, either via a centralized exchange, P2P, or whatever. And then there's the other side, giving people shovels. What does that mean? Playing a role that basically emboldens the growth of the community. That means sharing your services, using your skills, and getting paid for your skills. And that ties into what the beautiful ladies here were doing. Especially people who run smart contracts. There are people who need to build smart contracts. There are people like myself who need to build communities online. People who need to do marketing. There are people who need to create content. There
We
are
have a
people.
big market. It's 200 plus million in Nigeria and about
Exactly.
a billion in Africa. So a lot of sensitization needs to be done.
Exactly. There are lots of people who need to do a lot of things to make sure this community grows. So you can do that. You can work for international companies and you can get paid just like so many people around Nigeria and of course most of the world are doing. So I'll say those are the two mindsets you should have.
Beautiful. So
Yeah.
I hear human capacity development. I hear
Yeah.
job creation. I hear empowerment. I hear
Yeah.
poverty alleviation. These are the opportunities in the blockchain space.
Yeah.
And with Bitcoin, you can really go far. It depends on where you want to start, right? We still have about 60 seconds. As your take home, time flies, right? It's never enough time.
Yeah.
But you're smart, so I'd love to bring it back. On the 22nd of April is our halving event here at Pop Central. It's a show that's never been done before in Nigeria. We're putting this on the faces of people, right? It's no more a backdoor conversation. I think it's a Federal Executive Council conversation. Nigeria should have Bitcoin and pay off our debt. Why are we owing in the first place? Why can't we just buy BTC like El Salvador? We don't
Like
even
El
have
Salvador.
to legalize it as currency here. Naturally, the system will hyper-Bitcoinize it by itself, but buy for the country and don't wait till it is $1 million before you buy. So what would you leave as your last words? Leave no stone unturned. Touch on where you can touch on.
One thing, going back to the point about like integrating.
Yeah, 60 seconds.
Yeah, integrating BTC into like Nigerian economic conversation. Ethiopia, our African neighbor, currently uses a sovereign wealth fund to introduce people into the country to mine Bitcoin. I would say copy that. Jesus, like this is not some Western countries. Ethiopia, like our brother here. So I mean, like you can do that. You have a sovereign wealth fund where you either buy BTC or encourage people to mine. There's lots of wind energy. There's lots of fallow land out there that can be used for mining rigs and all of that. So I think it's something that should really be in the national economic conversation and something that can really have some positive effects, just like it's had in El Salvador. So I think that's something I would leave.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Elvis, for coming on the
Yeah.
show. And I like your shoe, by the way.
I
You're
love your
so-
kid.
You're so enough. I should have come with my own,
Come on, man.
I mean, it's been a great time with you, my brother. It's been a great time with you, man. What you're doing is fantastic.
Yeah.
I see how you educate people very lightly. You put some humor in your show. I saw a snippet of it while I was in the studio today.
Nice.
So I got to go back and watch that show.
Please.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Let's build the ecosystem together.
Yeah.
Whatever thing that you need our support for, we would be there for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. On that note, we have to put a stop to it here. Time flies. A lot of money has been spent in 1 hour. Thank you to the Web3 ladies, the K Purity, and Oluwatosin. Thank you very much to Elvis, to my producer, CJ, Storm Black from Bought Me Cash. I want to thank you so much, Pop Central. Everybody all around West Africa, we love you. DSTV, we thank you so much. Same time next week, we're going to come back, episode 11. Oluwasegun say, buy Bitcoin before your Naira show you shake. I see you next week.